Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today, welcome to game week 32 of the Premier League predictions. Make sure to smash a like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Okay then, so the first game comes from St James's Park in Newcastle. That's right, the first game tonight, in about an hour, it's Newcastle versus Wolves. And it is a big game for Wolves in particular, because if they win, they go a few points off the top four, and that'll be quite massive for Wolves. Will they get top four? No, but Europa League they could get. But it's going to be a really tough game for Wolves up in Tyneside today against Newcastle. I know Newcastle have lost the last 3 games, and the most recent game they got absolutely battered by Tottenham by 5 goals to 1. But St James's Park, the atmosphere is going to be roaring from the Newcastle fans, so they will want to get back. They want to get behind their team and get back to winning ways. But it's going to be really tough tonight for Newcastle. Wolves are a very good team. You know, they've got some good players: Fabio Silva, Ruben Neves, Jose Sarr. Newcastle, you know, they have got some good players, but I think against Tottenham, they started off well, but in the second half, I think they're absolutely diabolical. My prediction, I'm going to say Newcastle 1, Wolves 2. I think it's going to be a 2-1 away win for Wolves. 2-1 Wolves. Alright then, so the next game comes from Goodison Park. It is a big game as Everton take on Manchester United. It's a big game for both teams. Manchester United trying to get into the top 4. Everton, their focus is on survival in the Premier League. And Everton did play a few days ago and they lost 3-2 against Burnley. It was a very disappointing loss for Everton, and to be honest, if you're not beating Burnley, there's absolutely no chance you're beating Manchester United. Although Manchester United aren't really the greatest at the moment, you know. Obviously, they're out of the Champions League. Their last Premier League game, I can't even remember what their last Premier League game was, to be honest. Who was it again? It was a draw against Leicester, and obviously VAR helped them against Leicester. By the way, that was an absolute disgrace. I think that goal should have stood, in my opinion. I think that goal probably should have stood. To be honest, I'm a bit 50-50 with it. But for Everton, you know, they need to win this game, and so do United, to be honest. Both teams will want to go for it. But for me, I think United will win it just as because Everton are absolutely diabolical at defending. So my prediction is Everton 1, Manchester United 2. I'm going to say a 2-1 away win for Manchester United. Alright then, so the next game comes from the Emirates Stadium. It is Arsenal versus Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, it wasn't a good week last week for Arsenal. Tottenham winning, going above them, and then they got battered 3-0 by Crystal Palace. But can the other side, part of the, I think it's the M23 derby or A23 derby, I don't know. But can the other side, part of the M23 derby, beat Arsenal? And to be honest, I don't think this is going to happen because Brighton are absolutely shite. They are shite. They are absolutely terrible. I just don't know what's happened to Brighton recently. They've just fallen apart, and they drew to Norwich. If you can't beat Norwich, if you can't beat Norwich, there's something wrong with your football club. And Brighton, I have to be honest, you are getting battered. You know, it's at the Emirates. Arsenal are quite decent at home, so I'm going to say a comfortable 3-0 home win for Arsenal. Alright then, so the next game comes from St Mary's Stadium. It's a quite interesting game, to be honest. It's Southampton against Chelsea. Now, where do I start with Chelsea? I have no idea what's happened. 2 losses in a row. 4-1 loss against Brentford and a 3-1 loss against Real Madrid in the Champions League. And Chelsea, defensively, against Madrid, they were absolutely shocking. They were so bad. Vinny Jr. destroyed them. Benzema just destroyed them. Benzema scored a hat-trick against Chelsea. And to be honest, I generally will not be surprised if Southampton win this game. Because Chelsea, defensively, they are so bad. Generally, even a bloody team from League 2 could probably beat them the way Chelsea are at the moment. They're that shit. And, well, Southampton, like I've already said, they generally might have a chance. And yeah, but I think Thomas Tuchel, after the Brentford game, he would have been fuming. After the game on Wednesday, he would have been fuming. I don't think, especially the defence, Chelsea, defensively, they need to turn up. I know they're not really playing for anything, but if they keep dropping points and teams like Arsenal and Spurs keep winning, they're going to probably finish 4th. And they don't want to finish 4th, they want to stay 3rd. If they want to stay 3rd, they need to show up. And this is a must-win game because Southampton, a side who aren't really doing too great at the moment. Southampton, a side who are not really doing too great at the moment. So to be honest, this is really a must-win game for Chelsea. And I am going to back them just. I think Southampton will really go for this. You know, they haven't been great at home lately, but they will go for this because they want to get their home record back on track. So my prediction is Southampton 1, Chelsea 2. I think Chelsea are going to sneak a win by 2-1. Alright then, and the next game comes from Vicarage Road. It's a big game as Watford take on Leeds. And it's a big game, especially for Watford, because Leeds, they probably, I think if they win this game, I think they might secure survival, to be honest, maybe in the next 2 games. I'm not really sure, but Leeds, they're actually looking quite good at the moment, to be honest, under Jesse Marsh. You know, they're playing some really nice football. For Watford, though, I watched their game against Liverpool. To be honest, Watford were absolutely brilliant. They did not even deserve to lose 2-0, to be honest. Because Watford were brilliant. Like, at Anfield as well, it was a really, really, really good performance by Watford, if I really have to be honest. They were brilliant on the attack. Defensively, they were quite decent. But, you know, it was, you know, the first goal, I can't really argue about. And the penalty, it was a penalty. Literally, the players wrestled him in the box like WWE. So, if I have to be honest, I think it was a penalty. But overall, even though Liverpool won, if I was a Watford fan, I would have walked out of Anfield quite happy because the performance from Watford was very good. And, you know, they could come into this game and beat Leeds. But Leeds, another team who are doing okay at the moment. You know, it's a big game for Leeds, to be honest. You know, I think maybe the next few games probably should secure their survival. And to be honest, I think this will be a win for Leeds United. But I think if Watford play the way they did against Liverpool, generally, maybe Watford could snatch a point. But I'm going to say Watford 1, Leeds 3, 3-1 to Leeds. Alright then, and the 5:30 kickoff comes from Villa Park. It's Aston Villa against Tottenham. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting game at Villa Park tomorrow. Villa, I have absolutely no idea what's happened with their football club at the moment. Because the fans aren't happy. And Villa, to be honest, they don't even care at the moment. Against Wolves, they were sloppy. They just, literally, it's like watching Burnley playing out the back. It's just really boring football from Villa. And to be honest, I do feel for the Villa fans because they're probably really angry right now. They're getting frustrated and they're just not performing. And if they don't perform tomorrow, like we did against Newcastle, we could probably beat them like 5-0. If they don't turn up. But to be honest, Villa don't really have anything to play for, so maybe that's why they're not really performing. But even though you're not playing for anything, you still got to turn up against some big teams who are still fighting for these games and like positions. Like Wolves are fighting for Europe. We're fighting for top 4, for God's sake. Villa, they want to stop us from getting 4th, don't they? Of course they want to stop us. But I think, to be honest, I think the first half was a bit 50-50, but the second half was all Spurs. We battered Newcastle in that second half. And to be honest, I'm really confident coming into this game because Villa are absolute shite at the moment. They're diabolical. So I'm going to say Villa 0, Spurs 3. I'm going to say 3-0 win for Tottenham, clean sheet as well. So yeah. Alright, so we move on to the Sunday games, and we kick it off at the Brentford Community Stadium for Brentford against West Ham. Now, I did watch West Ham last night in the Europa League against Lyon, and to be honest, the fans didn't really help. There were 2 pitch invasions in the game last night against French side Lyon, and if the fans had run on the pitch, they probably could have scored. So the fans really didn't help out, to be honest. But to be honest, I think it was a 50-50 game in my opinion. West Ham had their chances, and so did Lyon. Tanguy Ndombele did quite well. Moussa Dembele did very well. So did Aouar and Lucas Paqueta. I think for West Ham, I think Fornals and Ben Rama were the good players for me. Areola had an okay game, and so did Lyon goalkeeper Anthony Lopez. But that second leg next week in France will be very interesting. But for West Ham, it's time to turn back. It's time to turn focus onto the Premier League as they do take on Brentford. Brentford, wow. A 4-1 away win at Chelsea and 2 goals for Vitality Janelt and obviously Christian Eriksen, ex-Tottenham, scoring against the scum. You love to see it. So Brentford, they will be really up for this game. They beat Chelsea, who are fighting for Europe. Can they beat West Ham, who are fighting for Europe as well? For me, I'm going to say no. I think West Ham, attacking-wise, they're okay. Defensively, they're decent. I reckon Brentford maybe will score. But I'm going to say 2-0 to West Ham. I think the defence will have a good game, to be honest. And I think Fabianski might come in. Maybe Areola will stay in goal. I don't really know, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going to say a 2-0 away win for West Ham. Brentford 0, West Ham 2, 2-0. Alright, then, so the next game comes from the King Power Stadium. It is Leicester City against Crystal Palace. 2 okay teams, to be honest. Leicester drawing 0-0 last night with PSV Eindhoven. Crystal Palace beating Arsenal 3-0. I know, 3-0. And that was a brilliant result by Palace. Palace were absolutely all over Arsenal. They just dominated. I know Arsenal had a few chances in the game, but Palace, realistically, I think they were the better team, to be honest. And they played really good, Palace. But, you know, they're playing Leicester City, who are decent at the moment. This could be, for me, I think this has a draw written all over it, if I have to be honest. 2 teams, Leicester City and Crystal Palace, 2 okay teams. For me, this game has a draw written all over it. I'm going to say Leicester City 1, Crystal Palace 1. 1-1. Alright, and now we have a massive game towards the bottom end of the league. It's a massive relegation scrap at Carrow Road as Norwich take on Burnley. Now, Norwich, you know, they are really struggling for points. You know, they need wins now if they want to stay up in the Premier League, and it is the same with Burnley. But I think a win for Burnley, they go level points with Everton, depending on their result with Manchester United tomorrow. Norwich, you know, they drew 0-0 in their last game with Brighton, and that was a quite decent result for Norwich. Brighton, they did have a few decisions going their way, and Norwich did quite decent. But Burnley, they won 3-2 against Everton. I didn't watch the game, but Ollie, we were on stream, and Ollie watched the Burnley game. And I think, hearing what he was saying, Burnley played okay, but so did Everton. It was like a 50-50 game, you could say. I'm not really sure. Ollie, if you're watching, put down in the comments what was the Burnley-Everton game like, and also what's your prediction for this game down in the comments. For me, I'm going to back Burnley because, you know, it's Norwich. They're not really doing that great. I know they drew 0-0 in their last game with Brighton, which is a good result for Norwich, to be honest. But Burnley, you know, they'll want to go for it. They want to stay up. Norwich probably won't stay up, but Burnley, they'll want to stay up. So my prediction is Norwich 1, Burnley 2, a 2-1 away win for Burnley. Alright then, and the final game, it is a massive game, and it is a title deciding fixture. That's right, it's the big one. It's the game that probably will decide who will be crowned the champions of England. That's right, it's Manchester City versus Liverpool. It's first versus second in the Premier League. And what a game this should be. I am buzzing for this game. Being a neutral, I am buzzing for this game. Manchester City, a fantastic team, and it is the same with Liverpool. Both teams did play the other night in the Champions League. I watched the Liverpool game where they beat Benfica 3-1. To be honest, I thought Benfica would give them a good game. They kind of did, but it was a very good performance by Liverpool. You know, Canate with the goal, someone else, and a goal from former player who played in Portugal, Luis Diaz, against his old rivals, you could say. But Manchester City, on the other hand, you know, they played against Atletico Madrid, and you know, I was watching Liverpool, but Cody, he was watching the City game, and what he was hearing, he wasn't really happy with the performance from his team. He said that they seemed to struggle against Atleti City. So how will they be feeling, Manchester City, coming into this game on Sunday against Liverpool? Liverpool, to be honest, I think they played okay in Lisbon against Benfica. Benfica had a few chances, you know, Darwin Núñez scored. Benfica had some few chances. Liverpool defensively, out of 10, for me, I'll probably give them a 7. They did okay. But like I said, this game potentially probably will decide the title. It probably will. If Liverpool win, they go top. If City win, they stay first. The pressure, for me, is more on Liverpool, as they are the team in second place. You know, if they want to win the league, they need to win this fixture. They need to win this game at the Etihad Stadium on Sunday. And for me, I think they're going to do it. I think Liverpool are going to beat City. And the way City played the other night, they weren't too great, but they did break. They finally did get a goal in the end, thanks to Kevin De Bruyne. But City will go full out. Liverpool will go full out. And for me, I think Liverpool will win. My prediction is Manchester City 2, Liverpool 3. I think Liverpool will win this game. And does that... Oh, bloody hell, I've got my pen. But does... So yeah, I'm saying 3 to Liverpool. And maybe, if that happens, will Liverpool win the league? Who knows? But yeah, put in the comments who is going to win the game of the Etihad. For me, I'm going to say Liverpool 3-2. And yeah, put it down in the comments. What are your predictions for some of the other games? For example, Norwich, Spurs, Everton, Newcastle, any game you want. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. So yeah, peace out.